Good evening, D. Dykstra here again with another great math video for you. This time we're talking about multiplying polynomials. All right, so check it out. Remember when we were adding and subtracting polynomials, we had to really consider what was going on with like terms. So an x squared needed to be added to an x squared, and xy could be added or subtracted to another xy. And the coefficients really played a role. But now, we're multiplying, so the role of the exponent is changed a little bit. All right, so let's look at some of the basic rules and reminders and strategies we have for multiplying polynomials. Okay, number one, we got to remember when we are multiplying polynomials with exponents, terms, and then we have x to the nth power times x to the mth power. In this situation, we are going to add the exponents, okay? So we got to remember that. So as an example, if we have something like x squared times x cubed, right? X squared times x cubed, we're going to add those two polynomials and we'll get x to the fifth power, all right? So as an example there. So we got to remember that. A couple different strategies we have for multiplying polynomials. And some will fit with your style of algebraic techniques, and some are not so good with your own style. So just whichever style you like, go with it. Strategy number one is the box method. We'll be introducing each one of these. Then we have strategy number two, which is the distribution method. And strategy number three is when we multiply vertically. All right, so let's jump into one, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, so the first method we have to offer here tonight is the box method. All right, so what we do in the box method is I've got these two binomials that are looking to be multiplied together, and I've already laid them out. X plus 5 we could put here vertically, and x squared minus 7 we put here horizontally, so that each nomial or monomial has a separate box. And then all we do is we cross multiply. So x times x squared becomes x cubed. X times negative 7 becomes negative 7x. All right? And then we go down here to the 5. 5 times x squared is 5x squared. And then 5 times negative 7 becomes negative 35. Okay, and once you have those in your box complete, then what we can do is we just take each piece out and we put them together in one standard form. So in standard form, remember we're going descending powers, so we want the highest power in the front. So I look here and I go, okay, well x cubed is my highest power. So I'm going to say, okay, well this is x cubed, okay? And then, oh, there's a 5x squared. That's the next highest. So plus 5x squared. And then we have a negative 7x. And then we have our constant of negative 35. Okay? And so that basically is our answer of multiplying these two binomial expressions together. Okay, now that may work for some smaller, some binomials, but as soon as we start getting into multiple trinomials and so forth, then it's going to get a little bit more difficult to use that box method. All right, so strategy number two is when we use the distribution method. So the distribution method says, all right, I've got 3x minus 4 times 2 plus x minus 7x squared, and all we're doing is we're really distributing the values. So I'm going to first multiply by this 3x, and I'll multiply that by the 2, and I get 6x. And then I'll multiply the 3x by the x, and I get plus 3x squared. And then I'll finally multiply that 3x by the 7x squared, or negative 7x squared, and I get negative 21x cubed. Remember, I'm adding, this is a 1, so 1 plus 2 makes 3. Okay, so I'm done with the first monomial of this binomial here. And now I'm going to simply do it again to the second, the negative 4. So I'll now use this negative 4, and I'll say negative 4 times a negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So I don't have a constant yet, so I'm going to put that over here. So I'm going to go negative 8, okay? And then I'm going to take this negative 4 and multiply it by the x. So that's going to take it over here, negative 4x. And what I'm trying to do now is, because I have multiple layers, now like terms are important, right? So initially we said, oh, well, multiplying, it's a little different now because we need to stack these because we're going to add them up because we've got a binomial times a trinomial, all right? And so we got negative 4x, and now we're going to take the negative 4 times a negative 7x squared, and so that will be a positive 28x squared, 28x squared. And we draw our line. And now you can see that we can add these together. Now I'm going to go ahead and answer this down here, but I'm going to write it in standard form because that's really what we should be thinking about doing, is writing them in standard form. So I've got a negative 21x cubed. Okay? And now, because there's no other x cubed there, so I'm good with that. Now our next one in standard form is going to be the squared. So 28 plus 3 is 31, so plus 31x squared. Sorry, this was 21x cubed, excuse me. And so I got those. So now I've added those together. And now I've got 6 minus 4x. So 6 minus 4 is plus 2x. Okay, and now those are done. And now my negative 8 just comes along for the ride. And that, my friends, is what you would end up with as a solution for those two expressions being multiplied. Now that is the method that I prefer to use, the distribution method. One of the things that we do have to be careful with is our negatives when we're going through, just like you found when you were subtracting polynomials. You really got to watch that negative as you distribute that negative through. Okay, so there's one last method that we talked about. And let's see if we can scoot over this way a little bit. And that is the multiply vertically method. All right, so when we multiply vertically, we have, let's see if I can get this. Yeah, there we go. 3 plus 2x times 4 minus 7x plus 5x squared. Now what I've done is I've set it up so they're each in standard form as they are. So 5x squared minus 7x plus 4. The trinomial is on top. And then I'll put the binomial on the bottom because we do this similar to how we do multiplication if we have a large number, say, and we're multiplying it by 21 or so. So then we distribute that away. So now what I'm going to do is I'll just multiply these across. So I'm going to come over here and we just simply take the 3 times each of these. So 3 times 4 is 12. And then 3 times 7x is negative 21x. And then we have 3 times 5 is 15x squared. Okay? That's the first round. Then the second round we have is we multiply the 2x. Okay? So I'm going to just do what we did before. And we multiply by the 2x. So in this case, I have 2x times 4, which is going to be 8x plus 8x. Okay? And then I'll go 2x times negative 7x, which is going to be negative 14x squared. And then I'll take this 2x and multiply it by 5x squared, which is going to be 10x cubed. So 10x cubed. I draw my line, and then I'm simply adding like terms. All right, so we start off with, we don't have any other 10x cubes, so we go 10x cubed. And then 15 minus 14 is just x squared. Negative 21 plus 8. So negative 21 plus 8, if we had negative 21 plus 10, it would be 11. So 2 more is 9. No, excuse me. 8 and 2 is 10. And so 13. So this is 13 minus 13x. And we had a plus 12, so we bring down our plus 12. Okay? And that is our multiply vertically method. Okay, any questions you have, just please stop the video, check it out, try those on your own, and see what you come up with. Otherwise, that is basically it with multiplying polynomials. It's a great time. Have a great night. We'll see you at D Extra. Peace. Thanks.